to PA Live. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully my mic is working again this week. I actually remembered to charge it. Hi. I have a fair few things to go through today. First of all, I just wanted to say thanks for your patience with last week. I was feeling, no pun intended, well actually okay, maybe a little intended, but a little under the weather. So my apologies with not being on. I was hoping, done a lot of hours lately, so Michael was wonderful and looked after the kids in the mornings, which he's been doing heaps of lately, so that I could actually sleep. And then on the Monday I actually woke up really late and with a headache, and then on the Tuesday I still wasn't feeling too great. So appreciate everybody sending their well wishes, and thank you so much. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm just waiting to see if I'm getting the updates on my phone. So for those who don't know, I actually have a little control panel in front of me, as well as my phone showing the comments, hopefully. And no, it's not showing the comments. And then I have my computer off to the side, which shows, okay, now I've got it. Whoops. Sorry. I'm still feeling a little bit of foggy. So, yeah, please bear with me today, because I have an absolute, a huge load to get through. And I forgot to write my notes, so I'm just going to have to go by the screens that I've got preloaded and hope that I don't forget anything. Okay, so, okay. Also, for those who are writing down, I'll try and keep up, but if you have questions, please leave them till the end, because there is a 1 minute delay. So usually by the time I've read your message, I might be on to the next thing. So if there's something that you need to know, please wait till the end. I'll let you know when the Q&A is coming up so that you can write the questions, and then we can run it all through them. Just brushed my hair and I'm molting. I have hair everywhere. Not that you need to know that. Okay. So first up, let's have a little bit of a chat about the Melody and the Weeks and my gosh, Melody and Weeks Northern Lights release. This was incredible. I know it was a few weeks back now, but I cannot thank you all enough for your support with this release. It was massive. It was just thank you. Now we're waiting for our courier, so hopefully he doesn't come while I'm doing my live, but there's a whole bunch of that packed off. So there was a slight delay on it, and I apologize, it was my fault. I don't know if you remember, a few weeks ago I said that I wanted to post up a plan with me that I had done, and I realized that as I was doing the plan with me that I had printed, there was a mistake in our inserts, in our plain inserts that I'd just designed. So because there was so many, it took us a little while to get them fixed up and printed, and I think I checked the new ones about 50 times since, so that's why that didn't go live. They were fixed, so we held back sending them out, because as you know, we don't like to send out anything that has a production issue in it, because we want you guys to get the best possible version of what we do. So yeah, that's the reason for the delay. It was all me. Fussy designers. I like Michael was like, okay, it's a few mil out, does that really matter? And I'm like, yes, because then the sticker kit doesn't fit perfectly, and I want it to be perfect. And he's like, okay, just get it fixed. So there was a lot of stress there for me, but the new one is perfect. I did a plan with me. I recorded a plan with me last night, because I really wanted to just take some time out and set up my Go Wild planner, because I've got so much work on, but I'm trying to get excited about that. So I thought, well, why not film it while I'm sort of setting it up? I may as well film it so that way I can show everybody. So I'm hoping to have that up this week. I've got a few things which take priority first. Okay. What's next? So they are on their way. They are on their way. The melody, the weeks, everything in that release. And Michael has said that, what did he say? He said because of, oh my goodness, I really should have written this down. There was a slight, so we tried out our new discounting software with this release. It turns out not everybody's phone was showing it properly. The developers were great. They were online with me basically within the hour. I couldn't duplicate the issue that some people were having, and neither could they, with the discounting wasn't showing up. So what I put in the details for the SoCal launch was, please make sure that if it's not showing, please use a different browser. And 95%, or 98%, 99% of the people who tried a different browser then said it worked for them. I'm still trying to work with the developer to find out why. Sorry, I have a Mozzie Bite. I'm covered in Mozzie Bites. They're just out at the moment because of the rain after the heat and all that. So, oh my goodness, it's really hard to stay focused today. So Michael's been processing refunds for people who are sort of in between, so who were charged a full price who should have gotten the subscription price. So that sort of created a bit of a backlog with customer service. Please bear in mind, he is working really hard on it, but because he's also had to pack all the orders, he is running a little bit behind on customer service because he's been trying desperately to get everything out because he knows that he wants to thank you all for your patience. I think that was the main message from him. What else? So that was that. The next thing is Vineyard. Okay, Vineyard. I do have to give a little bit of apology to Vineyard because she kind of got sideswiped a bit. She got sideswiped by the whole Northern Lights release, by the whole SoCal release, which we obviously didn't get much of a say on timing for that. I definitely wouldn't have put them so close together. It sort of got sideswiped. So I tried to post up just before we swapped over to Rainy Days all the previews just to help you guys get a little bit excited, a little bit more excited about the release because it really is an absolutely beautiful kit. It is stunning. It is gorgeous. I love the little envelope that is the mystery item that comes with it. So I hope that you're all just as excited about that as I am because it is a gorgeous kit. And Michael may have even taken one for himself. That's how excited. Because I don't know if you remember, but I said this was the idea of Michael and Holly because every Friday we have sort of like a cheesy wine sort of relax afternoon. And they're like, hey, we should turn this into a kit. That he was very excited for that, and he was nagging me to put the previews up, and I was so busy. There was a lot of lack of sleep, and I think that's what happened last week. Is that my body just went, okay, the releases are out. You need to rest. I've heard people say that if you don't pick a time to rest, your body will, and that was my body last week. So I am pushing through today and making this happen. But also taking a little bit of time out for cuddles on the couch with my little ones, and just taking things a little bit slower. Okay, so that is Vineyard. Oh, when it comes to, so digitals on Vineyard, they were due. I was meant to do those last week. That got sidetracked by the fact that I wasn't feeling well. So I am going to be working on those this week to get them out to you as soon as possible. Because I do like to have them up before the 1st, so that way if you're using the Luxe inserts, the dated ones, it's all ready. But as you all know, our kits, aside from the Luxe dated inserts, and you can get them undated, our kits don't have a date. And we do that on purpose because sometimes, I think Caroline's just said hers is due today. Some people get them really quick, some people takes a little bit longer. So we've always said that it doesn't matter when your kits arrive, you can use it. So for example, Forest Falls was I want to say 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, which it was our spring here, but now is the perfect time to get Forest Falls if you're in Australia, if you don't already have it. Actually, I believe there's Forest Falls in our past kit store. So for all those Aussies who are coming up into autumn, now is the perfect time for you to grab the TN. I think we've got a few of those left over. Grab the kit and really deck out an autumn planner. And there are bits in there that do a call directly to autumn. Okay, so yeah, so that's Vineyard. I am working on the digital downloads for that. And once again, thank you all for your patience. As I said, I've just been knocked around the last couple of weeks, and especially last week. So thank you for your support, and for people who were asking questions in the group, and the people who are answering saying I was, not feeling the greatest, and that they may have gotten pushed aside because of that. So I very much appreciate you, and I appreciate that was getting out. Okay, next. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the Go Wild. Hold on. Have a drink. Okay, so Go Wild was our second. This month has been amazing but exhausting. It was our second huge launch. I don't believe we've ever done 2 big launches in the same month, and it was a big one. So I think we trialed subscribers first on Northern Lights. Sorry, the memory's a bit fuzzy. I think we trialed subscribers first on the Northern Lights, even though we knew it wasn't limited and that everybody would pretty much be able to get what they wanted. And the reason why we did it that way was because we knew on the Go Wild range that wouldn't be the case. We knew that it would sell out. So we gave it a trial first, and the early access for subscribers, that was the one thing that seemed to work perfectly. I mean, Michael hasn't told me if he received a lot of messages about it, because he does customer service. I only poke my nose into customer service every now and again, which I'm sorry if you're waiting on a reply back from me. I'm getting back to them. But that worked really, really well. So there's a lot of manual intervention in the background to make sure that happens, and that's the reason why we changed over our discounting app, because the other one wouldn't work with the early access. So that early access has been 6 months in the making. We wanted to do it when we first launched our tiered Hearts Rewards program, but very quickly learned that the limitation of the program was that it didn't code the customers correctly. So what the next level of that is getting our artisans in first, because that is something that we have been trying to work on, and you've all been super patient. And so that is the next step. First, we wanted to see if it worked for the subscribers, and if it did, then we can try it for the artisans, because that involves a lot more work once we break it down into tiers. So that is coming for new releases. But the next release that we've got, which is Books and Botanicals, we believe we also have plenty of stock for that as well. So, but when we do have limited ranges, that's when being an artisan will really help you out. And the way you get artisan is there's certain amounts that you need to spend within a certain amount of time. It's all on the website. But I believe you basically subscribe for the full year, and you're buying a few extra bits and pieces on top. That really comes into play when we have limited releases like the SoCal stuff. But I was actually really happy. So we were flying blind on the SoCal. We had no idea how much to order. We've never had a merch license. We've never done any merch for like an event. And the experience that I had last year at Go Wild was so positive. I really wanted to do something that was special and just made my heart. Look, okay, honest truth. I wanted to make stuff for me. You all know how this works by now. I wanted to make stuff for me, and because to make stuff for me, I've got to make so many of them. That means if you guys get to enjoy that too. So So I said to Michael, how about we do a range? He's like, how do you think it'll sell? I'm like, I don't know if we'll sell one. I don't know if we'll sell out. I hope that we sell them all, because producing things is a really big investment. So we were really nervous. And then when I started showing it off, people were getting really excited. And it very quickly went from, oh, I hope that we sell one, to, I don't think we've ordered enough stock. And then from that feedback, I started saying, letting everybody know, look, we believe this will sell out to our subscribers. So that was better than we expected. So, and I believe the Melody Planner for Go Wild sold out in, I want to say 2.5 hours. Which was great because it gave plenty of people enough time to get on and check out without having too much stress about that. So the only problem is that there was no stock left for non-subscribers, but we had a lot of people who subscribed so that they could get into that. So thank you all, and I hope you're going to love, I think your first kit was Vineyard. So that's on the way / already on the way getting to you. So I hope you enjoy Vineyard. Your second kit will be Rainy Days, which I'm going to show you a whole bunch of previews in a couple of minutes. There's also the Beautiful You. I am creating Beautiful You for Go Wild. So if you bought anything from that range, if my tagging thing worked correctly, you will have access to Beautiful You. Once I have that up, I will let everybody know. First, I've got to get the Vineyard ones up, and then the Go Wild Beautiful You. Also, as I think I mentioned that before I get onto that, I also want to say about the merch. So a few people have asked if we're ordering more in. The reason why we're not ordering more in, so we let everybody know before it went live that this was going to be a single drop. It was going to be a single drop order. The reason why is because it takes a while, like especially the TNs, they can take up to 6 weeks to get those produced and sent to us. And then there's packing time here. Not our courier. There's packing time here that's required, and then there's also shipping time. And there was absolutely no way that we could guarantee it getting back to the States in time for Go Wild, or even like a couple of weeks after Go Wild. So that's why we decided to do a single drop. Being in Australia, obviously shipping times are a little bit more intense here. I mean, most of my stuff that I order from overseas, I need to wait a month for. So I feel your pain when things take a little bit longer, and most releases go live for me in the middle of the night. So I'm usually up. If there's something that I desperately want, I'll be up at 3 a.m. to make sure that I can get it. Which was the case I was up late working for the Melody and Weeks, and then I think they dropped the Go Wild tables and the merch licenses at 2 a.m. So it was just kind of fortunate that I was up and working already, so I grabbed that. We have 2 tables this year. They're going to be differently themed, but we have 2 tables. So if one will be our SoCal range, and the other one I'm still working out, but I think I know what I'm going to do, but I don't want to confirm it just in case plans change. I've got to send stock over in the next couple of weeks. So, and then also I'm in the crop, which got announced. As I mentioned, it's been a wonderful, very hectic last couple of weeks. So the crop is going to be a lot of fun. I'm putting together the artwork for that right now. It will be so much fun, and I need to show you all the Plannerheim passport, which Bess from Lights Planner Action and I have put together, and there's limited edition stickers that you can get from us at the crop. Well, not limited edition. We think we've got enough. I think I produced enough, but they're stickers that you can only get off me and Bess at the crop. To go in your Plannerheim passport. Now, the Plannerheim passport you do need to buy from Bess, and then you need to buy my stickers at the deco kit. There are still a few of those left. And I am going to show you a little something. So I mentioned before I did a words. I did a weekly layout. So I'm going to show you that quickly now. So this was the weekly layout using, so this uses a mixture of stickers. So this is our weekly, our new plain hearts inserts, which you get with the, so this is the ringed, oh sorry, I shouldn't say the ringed version, it's the unbound version. You have to punch them because they work for both discs and rings. So this is using those inserts, plus there's a little sticker kit that comes with that on the SoCal range. It didn't come in the Northern Lights range because I'm doing it as a trial and I want to see what you all think, but that's those little square date covers. And then I've used the weekly kit, so you can see the stripe up the top, which is the skinny washi, the stripe at the bottom, which is the fatter washi. So this is our weekly ECHP vertical kits. And I have used a few items in there from the deco kit, so you can see the little minis. And if you can see the little koala mini of that's me at Plan Jama, so that'll be on my contact card, which I've made for myself as well. So I am going to be putting that video online after I do all my digitals for the kits, because obviously they come first. But I really enjoyed, so this was a new layout and I really enjoyed putting this together. It feels, I finally feel like I can, I like my layouts to be a certain way, and this just feels right for me. And I haven't written in it yet. I'm going to be, it takes me a long time to write, so, and to write neatly. So I'll be doing that off camera, because you all don't need to, you all don't need to see me writing that. Okay, so that is just a really quick layout that I created. Okay. Okay, what's next? Okay, rainy days. Look, I'm going to show you a video on rainy days. I have a bit of a drink. I'm going to read through the comments. And then after rainy days, I'm going to go into the Q&A. So the preview that I've got for rainy days isn't all the products. I think I was missing the die cuts and the mystery item. The mystery item's so cute. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And so you'll have to wait for that. I'll show that next week, or maybe through the week if I get time. But it does include the additional papers and the additional sticker kit. So if you're on the fence about purchasing it, you can decide whether you want to by watching this video. Okay, here goes. Okay, so you guys know how much I love sharing my sneak peeks, so I'm going to share with you a whole bunch of the stuff that's for the rainy days kit. It's not complete just yet, so there's a couple of extra bits and pieces that I will show you next week, but it is the majority of the kit. So the first thing we have is our gorgeous pen. It's got a stormy barrel with the blue and yellow gems, and then we have, oh, and I went with gold foiling and gold on the hardware. I really wanted it to pop. It was a really hard decision this month. I almost went the silver, but I wanted to be a little bit different. Okay, so we have our quote cards. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Learn to dance in the rain. April showers bring May flowers. When it rains, it pours. Music to my soul. And rain brings rainbows. And we've got our gorgeous backing card, which I see a lot of people actually use for crafting and using in their planner as well. We have the standard stickers, and it's got our main girl on the front. We've got a whole bunch of weather related stickers. We've got our Monday through Sunday and a couple of extras as well as our folding sticker. And then we have our icons. And this is the new layout. I think I started this one from Vineyard, so they're slightly smaller, a little bit more practical, and we've added in our PA lives as well. Our washies, I'm really loving the washies this month. So the lower one, our wide washi is the gorgeous scene, and it's got the raindrops. Again, I went with yellow because, I went with gold because I really wanted it to stand out. So that's that one. Let me just put that down there. And then our standard washi, let's see if I can undo this, is the raindrops over the top of the flowers, because this kit isn't just all about the rain, it's also got a whole bunch of gorgeous florals in there. I believe they're pansies. I keep forgetting what they're called. And then this last one is a whole bunch of vertical raindrops. I think a long time ago, I did a vertical washi. And to be honest, every month I think about doing another vertical. So the other thing I like about this washi is that you can tear it up and put little raindrops throughout your planner. Okay, then we have our quote card, our featured art card, which is Life's Too Short. So we've had a lot of rain here in Australia, and I got out and jumped in the puddles with the kids and just had a whole bunch of fun. And I really just wanted to sort of bring that feel back into this kit. Our stamp set, hopefully you can see this, but we've got a gorgeous little couple here hiding underneath the umbrella. We've got a whole bunch of weather bits and pieces, some of the pansies so that you can stamp them out, create your own background, and the little houses to match. And the cutest little, I don't know if you've noticed, but the gumboots, some of them have bows, some of them don't. A little umbrella, some clouds. So you can, and there's the two versions of the clouds. So you can use the outline, you can use the block color it, or you can do a combination of both. I really can't wait to see what you all make with this. There are so many pattern opportunities as per normal with our stamps. Okay, so I'm going to come back to this because this is the additional sticker kit, but I'll start with the standard papers. So we've got this gorgeous rain and umbrellas, and that's paired with like a dark and stormy color. And then we have the pansies, which is paired with a gorgeous yellow. And then we have this beautiful scene, and that's paired with another, like a deeper, darker, stormy color. So that's the standard. And then, of course, you get the vellum and the acetate, which is that pansy pattern again. And, oops, that's upside down. You've got a whole bunch. I hope you can see this, but it's like little raindrops on the gold foil. So you can add that over the top. I really wanted to keep, I love keeping this sheet simple because I think if you keep this simple, it overlays over so much, and you can always fold it in half. And if you like, the silver's on the back as well. Now, if you love these and want a second lot, you can always do the additional paper kit. And in the additional paper kit, I'm going to show you, so it includes a second copy of the vellum and the acetate. And then some of my favorite papers are in this month. So you've got this, it's like an apartment complex, and they've all got their little pansies out the front, and it's just raining. I really feel comforted by this paper. And on the back, it's got the green, which matches in with the leaves on the pansies. And then we've got our little street view, which is all the streets lined up on a darker grey. And then behind it, we've got more of a light grey to offset that. And this last one's probably one of my favorite papers, which is, it's sort of like, it's a bit more fun, jump in puddles. It's a bit more playful. I really love this paper. And as with all of them, sorry, I didn't show that before, but the plain, so they're all double-sided for those who don't know. They're double-sided. They include one plain on the back. And the reason why we do that is because if you cut through it, you don't have to worry about what you're cutting on the back. Okay. Next, I'm going to fly through the additional sticker kit and run you all through that. So the additional sticker kit, we've got our main girl on the front with some of the corners and the flowers and two big giant raindrops. So if you want to, you can write into it. And then we've got one of our other girls and a whole bunch of weather and some of those gorgeous gumboots and some puddles and a cute little rainbow. Okay, then we have our couple, which you saw on the stamp set. We've got a gorgeous little cozy sort of, we've got the blanket as well. And this is sort of a little bit like more homely, and you've got some bunting to match and the houses and the trees. And then we have our gorgeous guy for the month. We have some umbrellas and some umbrellas with the flowers in them. And he's looking quite dapper up there. And then we have our florals. So we've got the florals in the jar. I really loved how this worked. I did it in a different kit, and I've brought it back because I loved using this stamp. And then you've got all the little bits and pieces so you can pull them out together. You've got ones in the jar. You've also got ones in the envelope. And this one, I really wanted to sort of bring back that the Rascog, so I've updated that and it's got the little post-it note saying jump in puddles. You've got these little ideas for rainy days, which I believe also work in the Hobonichi. And you've got drip, drop, splish, splash, splosh, and a little rainy days laptop. Now these guys were really popular in our, so these split in half. They're like little, you can use them as covers and write your name in between for the start of your planner. These are really popular in the books and botanicals kit, so I've bought them back. You've also got a whole bunch of corners. We've got our double, and this month what I've done it very similar to how we do our stickers that are in our weekly sticker kit. So you've got the single, and the extra spot there. So if you don't want to use a double, you don't have to. We've got our little window and some dividers. And then we have these, which I'm really loving. So these you can write in. They're EC sized with a little bit of overhang with the leaves, because you know that, I don't like thinking inside the box. You've got this little strip and more dividers. We then have our post-it notes and our days of the month. Dates of the month. We have our quotes, and then I've put some of these jump in muddy puddles thing and a couple more of those rainy day ideas. And then we have our 4 colors. So we have the green, the dark and stormy color, the teal, and the yellow. And then we have these gorgeous little minis. So, and they're absolutely, I'm really loving the pops of yellow, and I really feel like the color scheme worked really well on this kit. So if you want the additional paper kit or the additional sticker kit and you're a subscriber and you haven't already added them, make sure you add them before the end of the month to your subscription. If you added it last month, there's no need to change it. So that's your first preview of our Rainy Days kit. I hope you love it. Okay, so that was the first preview of all the Rainy Days bits. So I'm going to be taking photos of those today to start Instagramming them. Thank you all so much for your messages. I was reading through as they were coming in, and there was a whole bunch of questions as well. So I'm going to try and address them all. So first off, if I start with the Rainy Days stuff, yes, there's a really good mix in there of the rain, that sort of, I don't want to say that gloggy feeling, because it actually, like, after we've had so much drought here, the rain has just been so good for my soul, which is the music to my soul, the quote card, because it's just, I've just been loving sitting on our front, what do you call it, patio. It's not a veranda, it's like a really small, like, entryway, and just enjoying the rain and that freshness that it brings. So it's actually been really funny, because this kit is perfect timing, because we're getting so much rain here. So I'm glad you're loving it. So that ships between the 15th and the 18th of, March. Wow, this year is flying. So 15th to the 18th of March. I'm hoping that when I do my Vineyard digitals, I'm hoping to do the rainy days. You down here should say rainy days. Let me get rid of you. So I'm hoping to do the digitals at the same time, so that way they'll be up early and I'll be back on track with all the digitals. Hopefully. Okay. So let me just go back, because now I'm going to jump into my Q&A time. Actually, before I do that, Rainy Days is still open for subscription. So if you're a new subscriber, you can subscribe now. Make sure when you do your first, let me get rid of that. When you do your first order, your first purchase, because it goes through immediately, make sure you add on the additional sticker kit or the paper pack if you want to add those, because you can't add them on until the next month. If you are a subscriber, you have until the end of this month to make sure that your settings are correct. You can do that all yourselves in the account management section on our website. If you're not sure, go to the FAQ, and that has very detailed information, steps on how to do that. There's actually a lot of questions that we get asked that are in that FAQ, so if you're using our little the little help section on our website, it will probably suggest to you an FAQ that's relevant to what you're asking. And it also helps us out a lot if you guys are referencing back to that, because as mentioned, the customer service queue at the moment is quite long. Okay, now Q&A time. I'm going to scroll back, read the older stuff first, and with the delay, that'll give you all time to ask anything else. James, I'm so happy that you got your mojo back. Awesome. Which kit was it? I really want to know which kit it was. I'm very happy to hear that. Sometimes we all just need time to sit down, and for me, it's just letting go of that perfectionism vibe. That's what kills creativity. And so if I love watching videos of people planning on the internet, but it also kills, it gives me creativity in one way for creating kits, but it also makes me feel nervous about creating because I feel like it's never good enough. So I am learning myself to push that aside, which is also helping me with using my stash and using up my kits. And I know it sounds silly because I have kits here, but I also get nervous about it. So I find that if I can push that aside, and I'm trying to teach, so Indiana's also picked up a lot of that, and Lachlan has as well. So I'm trying to learn how to release that so I can pass on that to them as well. So I don't know if that's the same with you guys, but that's definitely the case with me. We'll be both right. Thanks for understanding about the Northern Lights shipping. And yeah, I'm glad that, and Michael and I had the discussion, and he's like, well, everybody always appreciates it if we're a little bit late, but it's because we've gotten the best product out that we possibly can. So very much appreciate your support on that. Okay. I can't wait for my melody. Michael is awesome, Dion. I completely agree. He's amazing. He works so incredibly hard to make sure everything. So sometimes he's he's triathlon training. So sometimes he'll be up at 5 o'clock answering some emails before he goes out and trains, or he'll be on as soon as he gets back. And since I've been so exhausted designing and getting everything ready for all these releases, he's also been getting the kids up, sending them to school, so that I can try and get a little bit of extra hours sleep, because a lot of the times I've been going to bed at between 2 and 4 a.m. To make sure all these releases happen for you guys. So he's incredible, and I think the last time I mentioned how amazing he was with all the extra bits and pieces he's been putting in, you guys sent him through a flood of messages, which was really wonderful. So thank you all so much. I'm excited about Vineyard. Yes, I can't wait to see what you all make with it. Make it, share it, put it in the group, because every now and again I try and get in the group and go through all the videos, and I'll also go through Instagram. Instagram's really hard for me to keep up with because I get so many notifications, which is wonderful, but it's really hard for me to keep up with. So if you're messaging me through Instagram, please, sometimes it takes me up to a month because I just don't see them. Okay, awesome things comes to those who wait. That's right, Denise. Love Forest Falls. Yeah, it's a beautiful kit, and for those in the Southern Hemisphere, make sure you grab one before we sell out of them. What's yours is yours. What's yours is ours too. That, I think that's in reference to me saying I wanted to design the Go Wild kit for me, and to do that I had to put it together to sell. So I'm glad that you all love that. Yes. It sold out in 2 hours. I knew it was around about the 2.5 hour stage. I remember watching it because it sat on 10 left to go for a really long time. I'm like, come on. And that's when I went into the group and I said, hey, if anybody's thinking about it, we've got 10 left. And I also went into the Plannerheim group. So that way, if anybody was on the fence, they could subscribe and get in. I wanted to make sure I was as transparent as possible. And I'm still getting messages from people saying that they wish they could have bought it. Which is hard, because I wish I had enough for all the people who wanted to buy it, but it also helps us for next year. So next year we'll probably do a merch license again and order a little bit more stock, so that way there's a little bit more for people. But yeah, that all comes down to how the year goes, because, and I mentioned the reason why we do the subscriber exclusives first, the subscriber launch first, is because the reason why we can do extras bits like the Melody, like the Northern Lights release, like the Go Wild release, is because of our subscribers. Without you, we can't do any of that. So it's our little way of saying thank you. Looking forward to your crop. I am too. I'm also very nervous. I get very nervous with presenting. And these lives are actually really helping because I feel really connected to you all. And I think it's because I trip up on my words a lot and my brain thinks a lot faster than what I can get the words out, which is why I stumble a lot and I forget where I'm up to. So any support that you could give me while at the crop, that would be much appreciated. And I feel like actually while I did the rainy days overview, that was done an hour before I came live because I had to get some stuff out of the stockroom. And I feel like I was talking really quick, which I do when I've got other things on my mind. So I apologize if I was talking a bit fast. I love the llama on the long notepad. He's such a character. I know, right? And you know what I love is when you open up the planner, okay, I've chunked mine up. He's literally like right there. So when you lay it flat, you can see him. Also, I've got this out because I wanted to show you. So this is with 2 months of my inserts plus the Lights Planner Action. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of her inserts in there. I accidentally cut hers too short because I did a print your own, which is driving me nuts. I also made my dividers slightly too long. Not for the page, but the actual divider, like this little tab that pokes out. So if you want them slightly shorter, I put this into the video, but if you want them slightly shorter, I would crop it here before you hole punch it. But I will, so the Books and Botanicals ones have already been printed, so they're already the right size, but for the future releases, I might make these a little bit shorter. And it's fine if you're laying it down on the desk and carrying it around. Like for me, it's been absolutely fine. What I was thinking is, even though they're a thicker cardstock, I might actually put some laminate over the top. And what I'll do is I will, I think I'll add a download onto the website which has the shape so that you guys can do that all too. This is the trial pages that I put into the rings bundle. So this includes, let me just show this up. So this includes each of the months. It includes some like highlighted circles. These are not transparent, so they're just like our normal paper stock. It's got the days of the week for the monthly view, and then it's got the dates for the monthly view as well, and then it's got these little checklists. And then the second page is for those squares that you saw on the weekly view, and this is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to flick it for you, but it's 3 like header boxes. So if you want to change the days of the week around on our inserts, you can. And then there is these little strips here, which are for the, hold on, let me show you this picture, it might show better. So as you can see at the bottom, if you look at on the, I want to say left, look at the left hand side on where it's at the bottom where it's got notes, and you'll see that tiny little strip. Now the boxes were sized so that you can fit in one full box on the HP, one full box EC sized, and then there's a spot for like the headers. So I wanted to make that fit that perfectly. The only problem is with a 0.25 inch dot grid, it leaves this really weird sort of size at the bottom. So that's what these little guys are here. So these are just to sort of add a little bit of a little pop of color and get rid of that like awkward bar. If these go really well, I'll include them in the rings bundle again for Books and Botanicals. Or I might add them to the store as well. But I need to have a chat to Michael about that, and I need to see what you are all thinking about that too. Okay, back to questions. Spread looks awesome. Thank you. I love the spread. Hope to get the Go Wild Melody. James, if you haven't already ordered, they've all been sold. Sorry. That pen, I have to hide it from the kids. I love the melody with the same colorway as the Go Wild Rich Sunset Hues. I don't know if that'll happen. I have been toying with the idea of turning some of the art in that kit with those colors into a monthly kit, Obviously, it wouldn't have the Go Wild or anything like that in it. It would be completely transformed. But I have been thinking about doing that because it's so pretty and it's so gorgeous, and there is so much that I wanted to put into the Go Wild kit that I didn't get the chance to. So I could actually turn that into a full kit. Obviously taking out the wild and the llamas and all that sort of stuff, because that is very particular to wild and that's not everybody's thing, and that's okay. Love the washi. The washi is gorgeous. Love the houses on the wide washi. Thank you. The florals. Washi's gorgeous. A kit that speaks to my heart. I love to walk in the rain. Yeah, Lockie has a thing for Peppa Pig, and so we were waiting for his school bus because they have a special bus that comes and picks him up with helpers for him, and we were jumping up and down in muddy puddles, and it goes splish splash splash splish splash, which I think is where I got the inspiration for the cups, because I hear that almost all day every day. Oh good, the stamps are a hit. Yay. Oh Karen, you're right, the skinny peacock ballet was a vertical. It's great to mix it up. Exactly. I always get nervous when I make changes to bits in the kit, because I never know how they're going to be received, but I love that you guys are supporting all my creativity, because that just makes me want to create more for you all. Rainbows, yes, I love rainbows, love them. I would have put more rainbows in, but it felt like it didn't exactly, like it went with the kit, but because there's so much color in rainbows, and I like to keep it sort of very tonally set, so that way the kit works really well together. But yes, I am one of these, give me rainbows, give me unicorns. I am one of those people, and I've resisted doing a kit that's like that, because I feel like that's not everybody, and people might think, oh, that's a trend from like 3 years ago, and I'm so sick of it. And it could also have to do with the fact that I have a 7-year-old girl who loves that too. Pansies, Wellingtons. Oh yeah, that's what you call gumboots, right? Wellies. See this better. Love the Rain Man. Okay, the tattoo. This is not new. This I have had since before Go Wild last year. And you can actually see I've got, it says create on my arm, and it's create there. It's a reminder all the time to myself that I am a happier person when I'm creating, whether that be a life for my family, whether it be physically creating something, and when things get really hard for me, I just need to sit down and create and just remember to do that. So that's my little reminder, that if things are getting hard and I feel like the sunshine is gone, to just sit down and create something. Your work is amazing. Thank you. Do you know when the Melody Books and Botanicals will release? We're just waiting on a couple of things for that still, so I don't have an exact date. Also, there's a few other things that I need to get through, like the digitals and a few kit things first, because kits take priority. Once I catch up with those, then I can start thinking about books, because a release, I know it doesn't seem like much at the front end, but there is so much that happens for that release, and I need to look after myself just a little bit more before I can do another release again. And also Michael needs to catch up, because I've been piling on work with him with the releases and all the extra customer service that comes along with that. So we want to make sure that everybody's looked after before we get to that. We still need more rain. Oh my gosh, our grass is looking so green. It hasn't been this green in years. I think since we first bought the house, which was a few 5-6 years ago when we moved to Queensland for Lockie. So because we used to be in Sydney, and we moved up here because he got accepted into a program, to a therapy program. I love it. I love how the yellow pops out so brightly. Yes, and that was, I could have gone down the silver route, but I really wanted to be different. I really wanted this kit to pop, so I added the gold. I got my Vineyard kit this morning, made it to Tassie. It's my first kit and absolutely love it. Wine and cheese are two of my favourite things, so I'm going to fit out a self-care planner. Oh, I love that. Please make sure you come into, who was that, Alice? Make sure you come into the group and share it. I can't wait to see. Will there be a digital kit for books and botanicals? Yes, but digital kits are, they do take up a lot of time, and I've got a little bit of a backlog that I'm trying to catch up with on that. But obviously all the other bits and pieces and the subscription and all that takes priority. So yes, there will be, but we just need to get there first. Vineyard Sammy. Oh, so you use Vineyard. Oh, cool. Okay, so it arrived and you got to use Vineyard and it helped you get your mojo back. Thanks, James, for sharing. I'm so glad that that really helped you. That's absolutely wonderful. I'm also wondering when Northern Lights release will be shipped. Oh, maybe you joined. I covered that this morning, earlier in the live, but a whole bunch of that is shipping today. If you want to hear more about that, I'm not going to repeat myself just now because I've got a whole bunch of other questions to get through. But feel free to. So these lives stay up forever. So feel free to go back and watch the reasoning why. Are you going to do a rainy days TN? No. Well, no. I don't have one scheduled. But we are looking at our next batch of TNs. But remember, they do take a long time. So the only TN that we have left at the moment, so we've obviously got the Northern Lights, we've got a few of those left. And then the books and botanicals, which I don't have a date for yet. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Nancy. Keen to see you back on Instagram, James, with more stuff. Sammy, you're great. Oh, thank you. Fast talking increases excitement. It's all good because we all go, woo! I love that, thank you. I love the rings. Excellent sunsets. It's also pretty. Oh, okay. Are those two sticker sheets? So these two here in the Northern Lights. No, they aren't because of the issue that I had with the inserts, because these very specifically match the inserts. I had to make some few minor changes, and by that stage I couldn't test them and get them out and get them packed in time. So they're not included. They are in this. I think I might do them for the books and botanicals. It just depends if I've got a bit of... I should have time to do that. Because I want to see what people think. It looks like there's just like a bunch of big block, and it doesn't look very pretty. But it's super practical. So, I mean, if you guys like that sort of, if you love that, let me know. I love the rainy days kit as I love the weather. Yes. Make a jungle kit with animal prints. That is on my list. Rainbows give me pride. Love it. Okay. Would love any rainbow work you'd like to do. Oh, yay, unicorns. Yay. Okay. Okay. Maybe I'll add it back into my list then. I took it out because I wasn't sure if you guys would think it's a little too young or whatnot. So I stayed away from it. But I might add that in now. I love a pastel. Yeah, I love the pastel rainbow, like not the bright. Although this wild, like the bright colours in that. And I think I also did really bold colours in books and botanicals. And I've been experimenting more with really bold colours, and I'm actually really loving how they're turning out, especially because I have that watercolour wash over everything. It really makes it, I don't know, it's bold, but it's still got that softness to it, which I love. My daughter is 7, also loves unicorn rainbows. Will the rainy days have a matching cover for the happy planner, Johnny? No, so we don't do covers for the happy planner, but what you can do is, so there is in the inserts, so the Luxe inserts, which you can purchase for $8 Australian, which I think is $5.50-ish USD. It's a digital download, and there is a happy planner classic size, and it's got the pretty cover. What I would recommend is getting that, printing it, laminating it, and punching it for the happy planner, and that way you've got your own cover. Will you release a rose gold rings? I really want to. It's all about minimums at the moment, because I was thinking about doing it for one of my kits but wasn't able to. I hope to one day. I really do, because I love rose gold. It took me, I was really resistant to the rose gold thing, and now I'm like, bring it all on. I want the rose gold everything. So when I can, I will. Yes, a kit with the Go Wild colours and sunsets. Okay. Oh, sorry, Caroline, you asked me that before and I missed it. Loving the little shelf behind you is something you... No, my father-in-law made that for me because I use it in my scrap box when I want to block off stuff and I'm doing filming. So it actually is dual purpose. It flips around. And then I also use it when I'm doing my flat lays because it's got a bit that I hook my tripod, my ring light onto. So that was custom built for me by my father-in-law. It's just a really simple shelf and it's got a long back bit at the back. So it's very multi-purpose for what I do. Never we're all young at heart. Oh, I love that. Always love bright rainbow colours. Yay! Just don't talk too fast. It makes this slow southerner's heart beat too fast trying to listen. Does that make sense? It totally does. And I get excited, and like especially when one of our products has just dropped and I'm super excited about the product. I know I do talk faster, and being an Aussie, we tend to shorten words and speak super quickly. So it's something that if I've got a lot on my mind, I forget to speak slower. So I do apologize. I will try and keep on that in the future. My apologies. My 5-year-old daughter is unicorn mad. She'd love to help Nanny use unicorn stickers. Oh, see, I love that. I love that it helps people connect with their little ones and their friends. And that's what I love about planning. It's not just a solo activity. There's like groups of us online and we all love to share. And I like that just fills my cup. Would love the option of the device without the rings. Is that a possibility? Now I ordered both gold and silver. At the moment, it's not a possibility because we only ordered enough to go with the rings because we weren't sure. We weren't sure how everything was going to sell. And the more that we've got separate and not bundled up, the easier it is to make mistakes in packing. So I'll pass that feedback on to Michael because he looks after that. I'm not allowed near the packing. Well, I did pack some of the orders recently because the family needed help. But I'm generally not allowed out there because I take too much for myself. So get booted out of the stockroom quite often. And I talk too much. I get excited and I slow things down. And I'm excited. But I think if you can't get excited about your own products, then how can you get other people excited about it? So, yeah, sorry. Where are we on books and botanicals? Yes, I am very excited. I can't wait to sell that all. So just need a little bit of a rest myself. Just need some breathing space, and then we just got to wait for another couple of things to come in, and then it will all go up. I will give you more notice this time because I'm going to be a little bit better prepared after seeing how the last launch went. And yes, we will be doing subscribers first, and I want to see if I can do... I might use that as a trial to do the artisans first and then the tiered release. So artisans, then creators, and makers, creators. I've only had one coffee. Okay, cool. Looks like hubby has a creative project to do. Sorry, hubby. And I made a piece of paper all for the happy planner. Yeah, so our pieces of paper, I'm not sure if I can't remember if they're the right size. They're a letter, a sheet. If they're not the right size for the happy planner, or I'm pretty sure they might be. But definitely grab the Locks inserts because that's specifically designed for, well, that one is, there's 11 different sizes, but there is a happy planner classic size. Yes, we love groups, especially going away for planner weekends. Hint, hint, Denise. That's for the Aussies. So if you're an Aussie planner, head off into PAA and have a read at Denise's posts. Another good rainbow theme, Pride. Love it. That's why I love when you added the boys to the stickers. My son was asking why everything was aimed at girls. And it's so not. So, there is a lot of girly stuff, but so Lachlan is 8 years old now, and when he was younger, it's like, well, if he's into Barbies, let's buy him Barbies. If he's into pink, we'll buy him pink. we'll just be completely led by whatever he likes. And then at one point, Indy was into, like, because Lockie was into Thomas, so she got into Thomas, and then people, like, we were out one day and one person was like, this young girl, teenage girl was like, oh, why is she wearing Thomas the Tank Engine shoes? She's a girl. I'm like, because Thomas is cool, and if you're into something, that's cool. Just be into it. It doesn't matter. And also, and then I got to teach Indy about not caring what other people say, because that's what they've got going on. It's nothing about you. So I'm a big fan of you do what sets your heart on fire. Sorry, that was a little bit of a sidebar. But yes, I'm trying to add in some more guys. We've got the little mini guys as well. And just sort of varying it out a little bit, which is a lot of fun. And I try and limit it to 4 characters per month. And that way, if you're not big on the characters, there's still enough stickers, enough die cuts, and enough of all the other things that if you're not into the little, like the minis or the characters, then you still get plenty of value for money, even if you want to ditch those stickers. Pardon me, and it's just not possible to represent everybody within the kit that ships. So, beautiful you. And then you can download, exactly what works for you off our website. Okay. I think this place I've been waiting for a special artisan sale pre-release. Yeah. So all these little bits and pieces that I've been doing over the last 6-7 months. So the updates to the website, the changing in the discounting app, because I had to change the software which locked down all of our, it was called Peony's Pocket, but all of our subscriber exclusives. So that was step 1. And then step 2 was the discounting app. And then also making sure so there's a whole bunch of extra bits and pieces in the back end. So we have a web developer. He got a brand new job, so he's been quite busy, and I haven't been able to get his time for the last 5 months or 4 months. I've been only getting him in little dribs and drabs. So there is a huge amount of work that goes into behind that. So please don't think that I've forgotten about you. We just want to make sure that when we do it right. And to the best of our ability. Now, obviously, we use Shopify, and there's limitations around that. So we don't have a team of web developers, or we don't have a completely customized site. So sometimes that means that the website. So when we put one thing up, another thing breaks, which was an issue with our old discounting app and a currency conversion app that we used. So unfortunately, it's not as simple as just putting in a plugin and away it goes. We've got so many customizations in our website with the lockdown, the subscriber exclusive, the subscriptions. It's really hard to sort of make it all run. One thing that I have changed recently is showing whether you are in AUD or USD straight off, because previously it just showed the price, and that was like without USD or AUD at the back end. So I think a lot of American, because I heard feedback and rumblings that we were quite expensive, and then I reached out to someone and said, hey, just wondering why you think, like, are we genuinely expensive? And she's like, well, I looked and it's $44 American for your basic kit plus shipping. And I'm like, whoa, okay, hold on, it's $44 Australian, which is like 30 US, and that includes shipping. And they've just gone, oh, what? So and that was great, because that told me I needed to fix up the communication on the website. So that's all been fixed. And hopefully that's a little bit clearer. Okay, where am I? So we will need to trim the B6 inserts for the rings for the Northern Melody. No, you won't. You won't have to trim it. What I was saying is, if you don't like how far the dividers come out, hold on. If you don't like how far the dividers come out, what I would do is just take a millimeter or 2 off here before you punch it. You don't have to. I'm running mine without trimming it down. The Books and Botanicals ones have already been printed and made, but I will be adjusting the tab size on any future ones to make them a little bit skinnier. I wanted it so that it was easy to tell if it was like folded out, and then just went a little bit wider than I needed to. But you don't have to. That's just if you want them to sit a little bit further in. Okay. Awesome, Mama, trying to teach both my girls that, especially that toys aren't just for girls or boys. Exactly. And it's the same with clothes. Like, until you get, I guess, a little bit older and shirts fit differently and you know, pants are made for girls with hips and things like that. Okay, it shouldn't show us sold out. Give me two. Wait until after the live. Sometimes what happens is when our subscriptions go through, it sells it out. It shouldn't. Just tried calling out to Michael so he could fix it, but he can't hear me. He must be out the back packing. He'll have his headphones in. I'll make sure that that's fixed up as soon as I get off my live, and you'll be able to order straight away. Yeah, so toys aren't just for girls or boys or anything like that. If you do you, if you're an old, like if you're a guy, doesn't matter what age, and you like playing with Barbie dolls, play with Barbie dolls. If that's what makes you happy, that's what makes you happy. And our little boy who's 8, he does have a intellectual impairment, but he loves playing with Pepper, and it's so hard to find Pepper clothing for him that fits, so we're having to order it specially online. But that brings him joy, and why would you ever want to interfere with something that brings you joy? There is so much going on in the world. So if you find happiness in something like that, just be happy, and be happy that somebody else has found happiness in the world. Okay. Vinny just arrived at my door. Yay! Okay. Courier just came. I got 3 notifications saying my stuff has been sent. Yeah, okay. I forgot to mention that. So, we had an issue with for internationals. We had an issue with the first batch of labels that we ran off. Literally, the names weren't matching up to the order numbers, and when we went to pack, it was just an absolute nightmare. So Michael had to ditch all those shipping labels and rerun a second batch. So your first one from DHL for, I won't say not for Vineyard, for the Northern Lights and Go Wild stuff, won't be valid. He said that when he fulfills them for internationals, because of the way the software works, it pulls in the DHL number. So use that one. I know the Aussies, I know you all don't get that, and that's due to Australia Post. That's completely something that's outside of what we're able to do. That's an Australia Post issue with them not allowing us access to a download with all the tracking numbers, because it would take us a huge chunk of the day to actually type those in. So for you Aussies, please use the Australia Post, but you would have only received one. It was only the internationals that we had the issue with. Okay. The flowers on the side of the rainy day stickers. So it's strip. No, that's just like, so that little, it's like, it looks like a washi strip. It's more just, it's like, you know how stores have that strip at the top to say what store it's from? That's basically what that is. And the reason why that's on the side is because you can punch that, or you can, you can punch it with rings or with discs and create your own. Like do I have one over there? I don't know where it is, but I've made ones which have like it's a little ring planner just for my stickers, and I can flip through it, and then I have little tabs. So I turn one of my papers each month into a little mini tab divider, so I know which section I'm going into. So I'll be like, oh, this is my rainy days, this is my planner babe, this is my so forth and so forth. Oh, Caroline. I get this image in my head of Michael dancing around the stockroom, throwing things in boxes. I'll have to tell him that. I might have to get a video of him doing that. So on the weekend we had Michael, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my sister-in-law, so all of Michael's family, over and helping to pack boxes. And then after I took Indy to dance and Lockie to a new therapy, which sounds very promising. I came home and then I was helping out boxing. So it was a little bit of a madhouse. I'm an Aussie. And you got that many. You must have done a fair few. So we don't collate orders, because if we do, it messes up with the order fulfillment and everything like that. So you must have put in a few orders. So thanks. Yeah, okay. that's it. That's all the messages. I think I'll give you another minute to write any comments that you might have. I think I've ran through everything successfully. I need to make sure I don't stand on the sticker that's on the floor. Yeah, thank you. Like, my big thing that I want you all to take away this week is thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for your support last week when I wasn't online. Thank you for giving Michael a little bit of breathing room to get all the packing and the messages sorted. It's just been, I don't think we've had a time this busy. I mean, Black Friday for us was pretty busy, and the Go Wild collab sale last year was really busy. But it's this last month we've had the kit and 2 huge releases happen within the space of a few, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So we are catching up, and I just want to thank you all so much for your patience and in your understanding. We're not a huge operation. We're definitely not an Amazon. We're definitely not as big as a lot of, other companies out there. We are still very much a small family-run operation. And as I've said on previous lives, that by supporting us and supporting our releases, you're helping a little girl go to dance lessons with her friends and have a life like all of her friends have, and you're helping a little boy go and live as close to as possible as a normal life, and I say normal, and you're helping because I wouldn't be able to work a full-time job with Lachlan needing as much help as he does, so, and having Michael work from home as well means that we can actually support both of our children, because it's definitely not something we would be able to do, and that's just a reality of our situation that we couldn't do without each and every single one of you. So thank you. This is my first live. Oh, yay! Thanks, Trisha. Thank you for joining. I hope you like it. I try and do these every week. Sometimes, like this morning, I was running a little bit late. I actually couldn't find the adapter for my phone to hold it up, and I looked in the spot where I eventually found it 4 times, but couldn't see it. So I was obviously a little bit stressed. So I like to do, so it's usually a really small group of us in here, and when I say that, it gets bigger every week. And then I keep it online so that the reason why I went off Instagram is because it only saves for 24 hours and people were missing it and, saying, I wanted to see the new release. So we went over to YouTube, and I can keep them all on there. And I actually find it's a really good way, not only for you to hear the latest from me, but for me to hear how you all react about certain releases and what you love about what I've put into a release. And that feeds back into a release, a couple of months down the road. So I just love connecting with you all, because you all make this happen, and as I mentioned, I'm super thankful for that. Anywho, I'm going to go. Thank you all for your wonderful comments. Hold on, you go, Mama, high five from another ASD mum. You need to win some sort of business award. No. Someone in Brisbane needs to. No. I'm just doing what I need to do. There is nothing special happening here. It's just I do what I need to support my family and my kids, and I am just very thankful for the fact that I get to do this every day. And no, there are much more worthy people out there than me. But thank you. I'm just doing what I do. I'm just doing what I love, and I love that I get to share it with you all. Okay, you're making me blush. Thanks, Tracy. Okay, I'm going to head off. Okay, I meant to say this like last week. So I don't check my mailbox often, but I wanted to give a shout out. I think it was Nancy McKenzie. You sent me a Christmas card, and I just want to say thank you. I don't check it often because I used to, but then Michael started doing the post runs, and then I went up to drop off a couple of extra boxes the other day, and the ladies who run the the post box, because they know me and know that that's my post box. So they've run up to me. They're like, "Oh, Sam, you got this, you got this." So thank you so much. That was super, super sweet. And I just wanted to do a shout out. I meant to do it last week, and I know it's way past Christmas, but it was so sweet and so lovely, and I really, really appreciated that. So thank you so much. Happy belated Merry Christmas. Sorry. Anywho, I'm gonna go. Give your loved ones a hug, and thank you so much for joining in with me once again on this very rainy Monday morning, which is totally within character for our rainy days kit, which you can subscribe. Once I get off, I'll make sure the stock numbers are right. There are still spaces. So thank you all so much. Have a wonderful week, and hopefully I'll check in with you around the same time next week. Bye.